Well, hello once again, folks. This is another awesome mission of customizing the Clone Wars. This is episode 38, and I am your host, as always, Peak Obi-Wan. Along with me, I have my co-hosts. They are the dynamic duo from Customs for the Kid Blogspot. They are Darth Daddy and Elias. How you guys doing tonight?
Doing really well. I mean,
hello.
Elias has been working on a custom for this episode, but he's been working on it for like a year now.
Yeah.
And we finally got it done today in time for the show. So,
very special reveal, right? Very special reveal tonight.
I'm looking forward. Hasn't been revealed on the blog yet because I only finished editing the pictures like a minute before we're starting the show.
Fantastic. Yeah, I've been looking forward to this one too. This is Sphere of Influence, and we are in season 3, and it's called Secrets Revealed. Basically, George Lucas went back in time and he put episodes prior to other episodes. And do you know how this one actually connects? I didn't realize it connected with Trespass. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it actually connects with Trespass from season 1, where it brings back the Pantorans. Yep. So what we will do, we will start with that, and we will show the fortune cookie. It says, "A child stolen is a hope lost." What do you think about that?
Well, it definitely pertains to this episode because not only was one child stolen, but 2 children were stolen.
A lot of hope.
Yeah.
Probably goes into that old statement, our children are the hope for the future, right?
Yeah.
I believe in that. I think that's definitely apparent here. We see, another generation going in and customizing for us, right?
Yeah.
Which
is pretty cool.
The talented Elias. Yes. Awesome. So what we see here, we see this guy. And this is the original chairman of Pantora. This is Chairman Chai Cho, and he was killed in battle because he chose to fight an indigenous species, I suppose, on the world of Ortho-Plutonia.
Yeah.
So, the Tau race, right? And he was just angry. There's really no use for somebody being a tyrant, right? It doesn't really get anything done.
He was kind of speciesist, or I don't know. He definitely had. He had his prejudice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He thought that because they were like tribal and they didn't really have any technology, that they were inferior to the Pantoran race.
Yeah.
Exactly. And what it did, him dying, and this is how it connects to this episode that we're talking about tonight. By the way, the original air date for this episode, Sphere of Influence, was October 1st, 2010, and it is episode 4 of season 3. I'm going to read from the episode guide real quick. It says, "The Trade Federation has blockaded Pantora in an effort to bully Chairman Papanoida into joining the Separatists after Papanoida's 2 daughters are kidnapped. He and his son, Ion, follow the evidence to Tatooine and the galactic underworld, while Ahsoka and Senator Ryu Chuchi hunt for clues aboard a Trade Federation ship above Pantora." And see, that is how it actually connects. We see the after effects of this guy dying. It basically put their world into chaos, I guess. And Dooku thought that he could kind of bully this new chairman, right? This appointed leader of their world, and that's Senator Chuchi with him. That's their senator. She's basically the Padme of this world. And where do we know this guy from, right?
George Lucas.
Yeah, exactly.
I think he played like a extra background character. It was in the scene. It was in Revenge of the Sith. Remember the scene and like
Opera?
the opera, and they would like big bubbles of water and stuff. And like before
calamari swimming around.
before they walk onto the stage, you see him like talking to daughter, like somewhere
Outside a
around like
door.
the bottom left corner.
Exactly, and that is
George
the image
Lucas played him.
I'm
Oh,
sharing.
you see,
right
look,
now.
I was right. It was in the bottom left corner. You see, I pick up a little thing.
Yeah, and they made kind of a little cameo. I thought that was super cool, George Lucas, and that's actually his daughter, or both of his
And then
daughters.
that's his daughter, his other daughter.
He has 2 daughters in that picture.
Yeah. But the one in the black.
And the guy in green is one of his other daughters.
Yeah, if you can see that one, the one that's in the black outfit, she was turned into the second daughter, which is Chiekwe is her name. Chiekwe. And I thought that was cool. But before we go on with this episode, something that I was thinking about tonight, and I'll get your opinion as well. 2 things about this episode is it is the episode of cameos. There are so many stinking cameos in here from previous episodes, right? Mainly because we go to Tatooine, right? So we're going to get a lot of cameos. The other thing I wanted to talk about, and this is toy related. I recently, this is an off thing, just because I'm a toy fanatic, right? You have other different toys, right, Elias?
Yeah.
Other than Star Wars, right?
Toys other than Star Wars? Not here.
No, probably not. No,
Not here.
No, not anywhere. I think that.
Wow. You only collect Star Wars?
Yeah, that's it. I'm a purist.
Wow.
You're a purist. Awesome. Well, recently, I got this other line of toys. It's basically in the line of toys. There's just a certain amount of characters, but they do different repaints, right? Wouldn't the Clone Wars be awesome if they could just continue it and make repaints of different characters, right?
Oh yeah, because you see all in
right?
crowded scenes. They take characters and they just take assets and they repaint them and make completely different characters. So
Exactly.
Repaints.
Right? Wouldn't they make so much money if they just made one character a week way, right? They could take a week way and repaint him a dozen different times and just make a ton of money off of him, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to see that also tonight. And I think Clone Wars was just primed for a toy line. It was probably the best thing, or the best engine, if you will, to fuel a toy line, and I think that's why it was so successful in the end, because you could make so many different stinking variants out of it and whatnot. But we will get back into this episode, and we're going to have a lot of fun things here. So I will jump back into it, and let's go right into it. So we're talking politics on Coruscant, right? And this is going to lead us right into the Easter egg, right? You see an Easter egg in there? Oh, man.
Typho?
No, it's not
that
typo.
The Naboo guard?
Well, no, it's not. It's more towards the front of the screen, and we'll just jump right into it, right? No, it's a green variant of Punzignut.
Oh, wow.
Look at that. Is that amazing?
What?
Green variant, baby. Green variant. And this is what I'm talking about. What if they made these figures and then just went and repainted a bunch of them? I mean, wouldn't that be the perfect avenue to just make tons of money, right?
Yeah.
Green Punzignut. Of course, he's not wearing his helmet, but
yeah, I was going to ask about that.
Yeah, I'm guessing that's just his head, and that's just how the hair grows, right down off the Aquilish's head.
Yeah.
But there is Senator Chuchi back there. Basically, she's trying to deal with the Nemoidians that are they're doing a blockade again. We've had 3 or 4 different episodes now in a row where Naboo, or not Naboo, but the Nemoidians are blockading, right?
Yeah, Ryloth, Papanoida, and now Naboo.
Yeah, right. So here we get Padme, and she basically came out of the Senate office, and she was just like, you remind me of me. This is frustrating to see this happen. Definitely don't deal with them. Don't deal with the Separatists, because they actually want Pantora to join. I'm not really sure why. I'm sure it goes deeper into why they want them to join the Separatists.
Probably resources or money.
What's that?
I think it'd be
Resources?
for resources and money.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm sure it is too. Definitely trying to push them in one direction opposed to staying with the Republic. They want to get more people out of there, and I'm guessing it's because of the resources, like you said. So we will move on here, and this is a perfect example of an asset. Not the greatest picture because of the resolution, but we always talk about assets, right? And they are a great way to. I just got this off of Google Images, and they help you figure out the ways to make your figures. Of course, you use these as well, don't you, Elias?
I would say that picture was up on the screen the majority of today.
Right?
Yeah. You like pull it up and you're like, oh, there it is again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again.
I'm tired of seeing it, right? And yeah, this is just a great example of the way we, as customizers, we want to get the details right, you know, down to the eyes, down to the markings on the face. You know, I'm convinced that her nose is colored purple like that because they made it look cold, you know, for the first episode. So I think it just transferred over to this new episode where she's not in the cold. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So these are examples of some of the things that we're going to do, and we'll get to his reveal later. And they deal with this this artwork later on. So we will move forward. And here we meet Papanoid's family, and like I said, we got Chiekwe on the end, and Cheamonwe and Ion. And he is played. Do you know who he is voiced by? He is voiced by Seth Green, actually.
No way.
Yeah, this is the second time he's played a part in the Clone Wars. Ion, the character Ion.
Wow.
He was.
I knew he did
some
360. I didn't know that.
That's right. Yeah.
As well.
Yeah, and you know who did Papanoida?
No.
That's actually Corey Burton that did.
Oh wow. I really wish they had George do it. It would have been cool.
Yeah, I really liked his commanding voice, though. You know, this guy.
Yeah, it worked.
It did.
For sure.
It did. Yeah. So this is their family, and they're basically telling their appointed official that they need to figure out what they're going to do and how they're going to solve this conflict. So they have Chuchi deal with the issue, right?
Yep.
And the girls, the two girls, Chiekwe and Cheamonwe, they go home and something happens, right? We get this creepy looking individual breaking into their apartment, and he actually kidnaps both of them. And he was successful because he had, somebody to go along with him. He had a partner, right? And it was this guy. No, it wasn't this guy. But there's a reason I have this picture up. Do you know why?
He is the voice actor for SpongeBob, the one who did the voice of Greedo?
That's correct. This is his partner. And we saw him in the dark. We saw this guy, and his name is Greedo. And this is one of the characters, one of the cameos that is going to be in this episode tonight. And this is Greedo from the Clone Wars. And this is my first reveal of the night. And this is a first-time reveal also of this character. I have showed this in the past, but I never really got him up on the screen for some reason. I just never really got around to it. I thought it'd be fun to maybe do kind of a Clone Wars-esque version instead of just using kind of a Greedo head. So I made a different face for him. I just re-sculpted the head. And I will get to that in a moment. But before I do, this is Anakin and Ahsoka. And basically, he's telling her that, you cannot deal with Jedi. You can't go through the Jedi. It's a job for the authorities, for the, the situation that they're in, right? But Ahsoka is friends with Chuchi, and she wants to help her.
Yeah, and then Anakin tells him, that gives you cause to investigate the crime. And then she's like, all right, aren't you coming? She's like, I said that gives you cause.
Yeah, that gives you cause, not us, right? And Padme even said, gives him a little
I don't even think the
cut
local
down.
authorities can handle it.
Yeah. It's like, I can't believe you can teach, right?
They let you teach.
Oh.
Yeah. It's unbelievable. But
yeah.
And here he is again. Of course, if we're going to have Tom Kenny in the episode, of course we're going to bring in Tandivo, right?
Yep.
The best detective ever.
I love this guy. I really do. I want to make another version of him. I didn't keep this guy. I sold him to somebody long time ago. Whenever you see blue or this kind of this dark gray in my background pictures. So this is the first custom of the night. Sorry, folks. I got my pictures jumbled for some reason, but Tandivo is my first custom of the night. And that's our egghead detective, right? And he's useless, right?
You'd think that with that big brain of his, he'd be able to figure out the crime, but no.
Right. He can never figure it out, can he?
And seriously, they walk right in. They're like, here's the icon of the moon goddess. Should be up on the shrine with the others. You'd think after a thorough sweep of the apartment, he'd notice it.
Yeah. And there was blood on that icon, right?
Yeah, there was.
Because
they didn't even find an icon.
It was on the table.
Papanoida found it. No, it was on the floor.
No, it was on the table. You sure?
It was on the floor. Because I remember somebody picking it up off the floor and then saying this is out of place.
Yeah.
But there was blood on it, right? And he takes out his iPhone, right? And he's basically like, I need information retrieval. And he pulls up a track record, right? Because he has this guy's blood sample. Imagine when our phones are going to be able to do that.
Oh, no.
Right?
Police investigation is going to go a lot faster.
Yeah. I already have a plant identifier on my phone. All I have to do is take a picture of a plant and it'll tell me the name of the plant, the uses what uses you could have for it.
I tried that out too.
Right, in your house you don't have service out there.
I took a picture of a Christmas cactus.
Well, here we have the assailant, right? It is the Rhodium, right? It is Greedo. And they decide they're going to take the matters into their own hands. And what do? They find out that he's stationed on Tatooine. Let me ask you a question. This is their ship. Does that ship look familiar?
No.
I thought that ship was the ship they used in Blue Shadow Virus.
Oh,
you remember that?
It's similar.
Yeah, they are similar. I thought for sure it was just a straight, the same exact thing, right? And it's not. There it is. Check it out. That's totally different. But I thought that it was the same thing. But what a cool ship, right? It's kind of an upright kind of a ship.
That would have been a decent mini rig.
Sure would have. Put one character in it. You don't even have to make it very big. Would have been awesome.
You could have even made a second lower compartment area. You could put 2 people in there if you wanted, but it only came with one guy. That would have been awesome.
Yeah. So here we're seeing a very familiar place behind the ship, and that is Jabba's palace. They decided, since they got all the information they needed on Greedo, they were going to go to Jabba's palace because Papanoida basically knows Jabba, or the Hutts are the only law on that, basically on that dust ball. Ion calls it a dust ball, right? And here's our next cameo. Check it out.
Dinky.
And the bug. I thought the bug was the cameo.
Right, from the fallopi trees, right? Good tongue grabbing. There's all these cameos. It's unbelievable. This is another reason why I think they should have continued the Clone Wars toy line, just because they could have made like a really great Jabba's Palace, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and our Easter egg also, that's another example of a character that's prevalent in the episodes, and that's Punzignut, right?
Yeah.
Oh, there he is.
There he is.
Magical.
But
What
look
is
who
he?
look who else is in there. Look
Yeah.
to the left here. We have Bosk over here. We have more
Oh.
Weequays, Nicktoons, just
Yes.
everybody under the sun, Jawa. But wouldn't it have been great to just get a really nice, even Clone Wars-esque Jabba's Palace that we could use in the collection, right? And there he is. There's Punzignut. It's our next custom. I've shown this guy
I
before.
love that vision.
Now I want to make one, and I want to make him green, right?
Yeah.
A green variant. I like variants. That's what I was getting into earlier tonight, if I didn't convey that. Just, characters that can be repainted. And here we see, what is this? What is this an image of? This is the first time we're going to see her Jedi mind trick at work, right?
Yep.
And this is Ahsoka and Chuchi. And this is going to actually lead us into the big reveal of the night. Are you ready? Let's.
I don't know if I am ready.
You're ready. Let's talk about it. I'll start. Elias has been working really hard on this character. This is Senator Chuchi in her, what would you call it? Her adventure outfit?
Maybe senatorial?
Senatorial outfit, yeah. So go ahead.
Well,
tell us about it.
Shall I put it together?
Absolutely.
All right.
Talk about it.
What I did was I took a Star Trek Uhura, and we pretty much just sanded the dress down. So because it was like full of wrinkles, and like it was like really textured, but her dress is really smooth. So we had to sand that down, and then I sculpted like a layer around it to really smooth it out. A lot of it is sculpted. The hands are from the Snow Padme from the Clone Wars Micro Series. The head is an Ahsoka that we molded and casted. And then we took the resin cast and we sanded it down so it would be just like a normal head. From the knees down, it's an Ayla Sakura. And pretty much everything else is pretty much everything else is sculpted.
Nice. That is fantastic. Look at that. How did you do the braids on the back there? The jewelry.
What I did was I just took some Procreate and I just sculpted them.
No, he's talking about the jewels.
Oh, the jewels. Oh, that was a long, grueling process. What we did was we took this like rubber like clear tubing and we cut it into like really little pieces and then we arranged it into like a perfect little grid. And then we like, I don't know what my dad did. What did you do?
I just took some thread, like regular like sewing thread, and I coated it with crazy glue and I laid it on the plastic pieces that were cut so they all attached in the way you would want it to, and then
you lifted it up and they were all sticking.
Yeah, they were all attached. So I think there was 10 diamonds down and then 7 across.
So 70.
So we had to do 7 rows of 10 with that, like taking a piece, like getting a thread like full of crazy glue and then laying it on top of the crystals.
Yeah.
And then eventually, once everything was all the crystals were on the threads, we let it dry. And then that was glued to the headdress, and then Procreate was sealed over the top of that to make sure they never came out. And those earrings too were done on a thread, so they hung down naturally as well. Or those pieces that hang down off of over here.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. Wow. That is great work. Great job. Wow. And
Yeah, it came out better
man,
than I was expecting.
yeah.
Oh, do you doubt my abilities?
No, well, this is your first 100% sculpted figure, so
Oh yeah, that paint job on the dress right there. Can you show that right there? That was, oh my god. That's all I can say is oh my god. That
the
was,
pattern on a skirt.
yeah. Oh, just to give you guys some tips, if you want to pull it off, what I did, I didn't know what to do. I was like staring at it and I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. And my dad's like, connect the dots, make a nice fun game, connect the dots. So what I did was I like just pretty much put little dots everywhere to kind of just tell me where to go, and then I went in and painted the lines. And then I got a sculpting tool, and like wherever the lines got kind of messy, I would just like scrape it to the way it should be, and then it was done before I knew it.
That's incredible. Really looks nice. I really like that paint job work on the lower skirt too.
Yeah, he nailed it.
Yeah, good job.
Can
Good job.
you
And what are the paints that you used for this character?
We just used our normal acrylics.
And what is the brand?
Color for the blue. Oh, these were all Citadel, right?
Yeah.
Oh, except for the pink on
her
the
eyebrows weren't so
yeah, the eyebrows were Reaper.
Mhm.
The what was the name of that pink that you used? Lipstick?
No, it
something,
was
or-
porcelain rose. That's also Reaper.
No, well, porcelain rose was this
The
this.
dress.
Now,
Mhm.
well, I'm talking about this
Oh, that was called Screamer Pink.
Screamer pink. Okay.
And what I did is it's actually like a really bright color, but I just kind of put like a light coat. I didn't apply it all the way, and it gave me that perfect color that I needed.
That is fantastic. Wow, what a great job you did. Well,
Yeah, he did a
I
nice
think
job, didn't he?
all that hard work, paid off. Now get to the next one, mister.
I know, right?
Ah, geez.
But I can't. I'm so happy that he is finally done with his custom, because for the longest time
Yeah.
I've been having to like do all the customs on the blog, waiting for him to finish
Well,
this
I
one.
gotta
So
do her work, dude.
I'm
Yeah.
just glad it's over. So now I can take a break for a bit.
That's great work. Good job. Great job. And we'll go back to it. We'll get back to this episode. We'll move it right along. Thanks for sharing that. And we see Ahsoka given the Jedi mind trick, right? And she carts her around the Nemoidian ship. What they're doing is they're trying to find out if Baron Papanoida's daughters are on this ship somewhere. So she's using her Jedi mind trick for the first time. And it was successful, right? Even both times, right? So we move on, and we're back
What do
on
we see this time?
Tatooine, and here we are once again at Jabba's palace. And look at this. There's another variant of Punzigna. Look at the gray one over there in the background. I lighted it up a little bit, but now we have a gray one, a grayish blue version. It's like they took the color out of it, right?
And then there he is magically standing right
Yeah,
over there.
right? Pretty much across from
He's a
himself,
magic
right?
quality.
Yeah. Yeah, he is probably our greatest background character ever. I just really wish they brought him out in some way, shape, or form, right? And
Take yours and copy that and give us what you made.
yeah, I wish I could. I gotta see if I have the parts, and I'll let you know. I'll let you know. But in the center here, we have Baron Papanoida and his son Ion, and they're not going to deal with Jabba directly, right? Because they're not sure if he's involved. So they decide to deal with this guy here, and this is going to lead me into my next custom. And I've shared this recently, and he's a Biff, basically a Clone Wars style Biff that I shared a couple episodes back in the finale of season 2. And I just felt like I wanted to make more of a Clone Wars head with it.
Oh, I love seeing a Clone Wars version of the Bith. I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
He's real skinny. Yeah, appreciate it. And here is more cameos. Look at this. I love this, you know, because
Embo back there.
right there's Embo. Who else is back there?
There's the what's the new Tolan from Lethal Trackdown in the Clone Wars. He's in the background.
You know what's funny about that guy? His name is what is it? I think it's Wong Fu or something like that. It's something hilarious. But
Is that a Ahsoka's droid back there?
it's not Ahsoka's droid. That is actually a totally different droid that I
That
would
looks like that might be the Coronet droid, like one of the droids on the Coronet.
You're right, it is, and I definitely want to make that one at some point. But look what's right
And then
next
we got
to
Sugi.
Wow.
yeah, Sugi. We just tons of different cameos, and this goes back to my
Like Finn Tagotash standing behind Greedo.
yeah, it sure is. But look at this. We got Sugi. You know, this is one of the ones I've done a long time ago. We have a Weequay. We have Nick Two Guards. So many different characters. And we haven't even got to the point where they have Gamorrean guards in there yet. But, you know, that entire palace is just filled with tons and tons of cameos. So I call them.
Mos Eisley Spaceport.
Yeah, this image here, this is what I call bridging the gap. You know, whenever it goes from prequel to original trilogy, I just love it because this is actually not Mos Espa. This is Mos Eisley. You know, we're going to Mos Eisley for real.
And we actually get to see the cantina that you get to see in A New Hope.
That's right. But look at this, though. Yeah, it's like a different angle. Don't you think it? I don't know if I like this angle that we're seeing because it doesn't really look and feel like the actual cantina. I mean, I
They probably
suppose
just chose that angle so they wouldn't have to populate it as much.
True. So yeah, we basically find out that Jabba wasn't involved, and Greedo basically says, "Yes, I did it. I kidnapped his kids, and I'm gonna take them to where I'm holding them." Right. So he's got his kid at a bar. He's holding her at a bar. Right. So he goes in to, yes, the notorious Mos Eisley Cantina. And I want to show this image because I thought this was the very episode I thought that Punzignut was going to be no more. I thought this is the one time that we're going to see him get killed.
But oh no.
And that was it. Yeah, he came back from the dead.
Numerous times.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like this was the first time we see him get shot, right?
Well, sometimes later on, you know, if you watch the episode with Rachel Hardeen and Cad Bane and who was the guy who built the box? Morale Val. There's one scene where you see like 4 Punzignats on the screen at the same time, which leads you to believe that maybe the ones that we saw die really did die, and that's just a popular outfit that everybody's wearing.
Yeah. They got 10 lives, right? 9 lives like cats,
Yeah.
right?
For
sure.
That's just budget cuts, my friend. That's just budget cuts.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying you have to come to a conclusion based on those budget cuts on how those budget cuts affect the story.
I think the budget cuts are just a funny, cute little thing that people notice.
I thought it was effective, though. I mean, it was always cool to see background characters, even though they were the same ones. We saw a lot of background characters, even if they didn't change the color. I thought it was cool.
Yeah, I didn't mind.
So here we are in the cantina, and basically he knows he's failed at this point. He screwed up his however many jobs he's done, and his partner is there, and it's a Godel. It's the notorious Godel, and that's going to lead me into my next customs. And I say customs because I've done 2 versions of this character, but before. I did it again in 2 episodes. Before I get into the Godel, I want to go into this character, and he is the owner of the cantina, right?
Yep.
Do you know if this guy has a name?
Nimbinel, right?
Well, no, that's the name of the species.
Oh, that's a species. Not
Yeah,
yeah.
right. Yeah, the Nimbinel is the species, and I just affectionately call him Nim. And I will show him right now. There he is. And can you guess what the body I used for this character was? You'll know it more than anybody, but
Is it Luminara?
nope.
Did you use
should,
the Luminara sleeves?
No, I didn't. It's the original Cad Bane.
Wow.
Yeah, but everything else is pretty much sculpted. You know, it has your favorite joint in the elbow there, the double joint element there.
Yep.
But what I did, I thought it'd be cool to make this guy. You know, since at the time I made him, we had just recently got the Black Series. What's his name? What's the guy in the red outfit? Same species.
Oh,
Mosep, right? And I thought it'd be cool
I'll probably know.
to make one of this the same character, because I really enjoyed the classic aliens, right? And Dave Filoni was amazing at putting those classic aliens in there. And he's the owner of the Cantina right now. And he knows that there's a fight brewing, that there's a fight going down, and it's going to happen. So he dives under the Cantina, right? And fight breaks out. And this is what I'm talking about with Punzignut. That's him getting blown away right there.
yeah.
And I think this is definitely the first time we saw him get killed. I'm not sure. Maybe we saw him again, but I thought he bought it for sure. But he does come back, doesn't he? And here, of course, just like with Greedo and Han Solo, we see there's a standoff with the Godel. And I think this is where, yes, I have my custom figures of the Godel. This is my first version of him. And this is the one I actually still own, which is awesome. I dig their little jump suits, you know, their little track suits.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. And I thought it'd be fun to make this guy, and it was. They're totally cool. I used a snow Anakin for the body, and I used different boots and whatnot, and I sculpted the head and the arms. And basically the belt was just used from a Nicktoon. So I just basically pulled it off of the original Nicktoon, his shoulder strap, and made it shorter and made it a belt. And here is both versions. And the second version is the one that you own, right?
Yeah, we own the Nimbinel too that you just showed.
Yes, you do. That's right. I was wondering where he went. Oh,
yeah, we have him here.
Excellent. It's always fun.
Yeah, this
it's
is our
always
version.
Yeah, I just wish they made all these different characters. And while I'm at it, you know, I had a little technical difficulty earlier with the picture viewer or whatever, and I didn't get to share Greedo, so I'll do that at this time. Are you seeing that there?
I'm seeing the Godel still, not Greedo yet.
Oh, okay. Let me see here. Let me see. Yeah, you're seeing the Godel. All right. Let me pull it up. Sorry about the technical difficulties. Let me see if I can get the Greedo up. There he is. You see that there?
Oh, okay. Now I'm seeing that. Wow.
Yeah, and I've had this guy going for quite a while. He's partially Frankenstein together, but also sculpted a little bit. I sculpted pieces of his jacket, and what I did is I decided to change his head completely and gave him a totally different face, opposed to just that.
Great.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate it. I thought maybe he can be reworked in some places, but I think he turned out okay.
Did you keep him?
Yeah, I do. I still have him. Mm-hmm. yeah, for some reason, I don't think I've ever shared this guy, and he was down on my shelf, and I was like, oh my God, this is the Greedo episode. I gotta get a picture. This is my first reveal of the night, which is totally strange, but you know how we get, right? Customizers, right?
Oh, yeah.
You have a bunch of customs downstairs, and you gotta share them at some point, right? So we'll get back into where we were, and that was with the Godel. And we see Chiekwe actually blowing this guy away because he almost got him, didn't he?
Yeah, he was about to shoot Chairman Papanoida.
Yeah, and she has kind of this Han Solo swagger about her right there, don't you think? Are you seeing that photo?
Yeah.
And it's funny that her. What's that? Go ahead.
He's got the face, you know.
Yeah, and she's actually right next to his booth, right? The one that he's sitting in. So it's fitting. It's fitting that she looks like that, right? And we go back up and we realize the second daughter, Cheamanwe, she is on the ship. She's actually on the ship, and they figure it out. And these sneaky Nemoidians, right? I don't know what the one to the right is called. I forget what his name is, but the one that we're looking at is Sib Kane. And the one to the right is so slimy that he acts like he claims that he doesn't know anything's going on, and he basically blames everything on Sim.
Yeah, and then he's like blackmail. He's like, no, business. I could of course be persuaded to defend your part in the Senate. That is, of course, if you removed your blockade from Pantora.
Yeah, he's like, I need my litigator, right?
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. They're so slimy. They just they trade on each other and just diss each other, throw each other under the bus. It's terrible. But in the end, everybody's happy. He took everything into his own hands, and that is the definition of being a rebel, right? He decided to defend his family on his own, right? Instead of going by the rules, the Senate and how long it takes, right? We have this rebel here, and he's like, I'm happy, I got my family. And yes, indeed, they did release the blockade, right? And that is the episode.
Yeah, that was a fun one.
That was a fun costume most of the time.
Yeah.
It was an intimidating one.
Indeed. They can be, can't they?
Oh yeah.
Sometimes you can start making something and you feel good about it, and all of a sudden you're like,
oh yeah.
Yeah, wow, I gotta put this thing up for a little while, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, that is our episode. Thanks for joining us. When I'm not here, you can find me on Facebook at Peak Obi-Wan Custom Creations. Where can we find you?
You can find us at the Customs for the Kid blog, which is www.customsforthekid.blogspot.com. Once you get to the blog, you can check out all the customs that we made over here at the Action Figure Index. Just click on the photo, and it'll take you to photos of pretty much every custom we made, and just click on whatever custom you want to see. Click on the photo, and it'll take you to that custom. From there, you could also get links to our Facebook page, our YouTube channel, our Twitter feed, our Tumblr account, Instagram, Google+. We're also on Pinterest. So yeah, anytime you want to check out the customs or anything like that, this is over here at the blog is the place to go.
Awesome. Well, thanks again, folks. This is episode 38. Take care.
Good night, everybody. May the force be with you.
Peace.